Hello and welcome to this week's Knit Chit Chat. I hope you brought some knitting with you. I have here, this is my Maema Cardigan that I'm working on again. And let me know, what are you working on? So if we haven't met yet, hello and welcome. I'm glad that you're here. I am Jessica, the knitting pattern designer behind Snickerdoodle Knits and facilitator behind the design circle. I enjoy designing easy to wear, engaging knits that tell the stories of living, and I am extremely passionate about helping designers with their businesses. So I love creating communities and providing support with resources and things like that. So if you haven't joined a weekly knit chit chat before, this is where we just hang out and knit and chat and talk about life and things like that. I'm trying to see if I can add a description for the live, but maybe not. I know I used to know how to do it, but I don't know if they changed it or if I just don't remember. Anyway, so as I said, I'm working on my Maema cardigan. This is a cardigan by Megan of Pip and Pin, and I am using Malabrigo yarn. So it is Malabrigo sock in the eggplant colorway, and I just think it's so pretty. I love this color. It's a really deep purple, and of course you can see it in the shawl that I'm wearing as well. This shawl is my In a Mood Shawl, which we'll be releasing in a week. So on Saturday, March 5th, there's a special event I'm going to be at, and I'll be releasing it for that. So if you haven't caught many of my lives recently, you might not be familiar with the shawl. It is, the only way I really know how to describe it is a choose your own adventure style. So it's super customizable. You get to choose your yarn weight, you get to choose how many colors you use, you get to choose how often you change colors, you get to choose which stitches you use. So the stitches are totally interchangeable, and you can repeat them as long as you want, or you can skip them. So my first sample was this sample in worsted weight. So it starts at the tip, it's an asymmetrical triangle. So I started with garter and then what I call the simple lace, and then garter, more simple lace, etc., drop stitches, and then this rib, and so on. And then as you can see, this is a very different version. So this was Aran weight. This was Aran weight. This is DK weight. And of course I used 3 different colors here. I started on this tip with a little bit of striping. I started with some lace again, drop stitches, but then I kept adding in these stripes as I moved between colors. So I guess I just realized the order of my stitches is actually the same, but it gives a very different look. The repeats are different sizes, and then I have, of course, the 2 different colors with a lot more space between the stitch motifs. And I just had so much fun with it. So here you can see the end. It does end on different stitches. So the Aran weight one, this one ends on the lace section, so that's what you see when you're wearing it the most. This one ends on the drop stitch section. Hello and welcome. We have somebody who just joined. This is just the weekly knit chit chat where we hang out and knit and chat about things. So I'd love to hear, what have you been working on? Do you have some knitting with you right now? I'm sharing that I am working on my Maema cardigan, and I'm loving it. And obviously I still haven't made a whole lot of progress on it. If you've been around for a while, you know that I started this back at American Thanksgiving time. So that was the end of November. But you know, slow and steady, would just keep knitting. Welcome, Susan. We're just hanging out and knitting and chatting. Do you have a knitting project you're working on or have been working on? Actually, I think you're in the mystery knit along, aren't you, Susan? Working on Big Love. What is Big Love? I don't know if I've even heard of it before. Yeah, so as far as yarns for this shawl that I'm wearing, this was Hand Dyed Diva. They're a local, to me, well, it's actually Cheers to Use, the yarn shop, and then the owners also dye yarn that's called Hand Dyed Diva, and I just love these colors. And then this one is by Interlacement Yarns. I met them at a yarn festival last year, my first time going to a larger yarn festival. So, yeah. You're almost done with the mystery knit along and you're loving it. That's so good. I'm so glad. I loved that design so much. I can't wait until I can actually share the whole design on with everybody. Because of course I've had to keep it a secret for several months. Okay, Big Love is a comfy shawl collared cardigan. That sounds super cozy. And I love the name with it, now that I know what it is. What colors are you knitting it in? And Susan said she's working on Earth and Air sweater. But kind of, I'm guessing that's a textured or lace of some sort. What does that look like? This is always the hard part of doing lives, Instagram lives, that I can't see you. You can't show me your projects. But I do love connecting this way, so thank you for joining me. Yeah, let's see what else has been going on. What's been happening in your corner this week? Of course, worldwide, this has been quite a week, but a brioche sweater with a worsted yarn and a mohair yarn. That sounds so squishy and cozy and wonderful. So how's your week been, Susan? I always like to ask, do you have three words that you would use to describe your week? I always think it's fascinating to use 3 words. Even if you're watching the replay, you can share 3 words to describe your week. But the words that I wrote down for this week were fulfilling, exhausting, and grace. I've had tons and tons and tons of calls this week, and so it's been a bit exhausting socially. I've been having lots of, for me, earlier calls and later calls and not getting nearly as much sleep as normal, but I also love the interacting and collaborating with people. We're working on, inside the design circle, we're working on putting together a book collaboration where it's basically creating like a magazine just with our designs from the design circle. So it's really exciting, but there's a lot of planning and admin and everything to make it really come together well. So we've been having lots of planning calls and putting lots of work in for behind the scenes stuff so we can get that up and running. And then I've been running a design challenge this week. It's my first time. That sounds really neat. Thank you. We're really excited about it. I'm really big on collaboration, and so it's just another really neat way to collaborate together and different approach to a publication. And we're going to be bringing it to a yarn company to also collaborate with them. So lots of exciting things. Also lots of new waters to test. So hopefully a year from now, we won't have to put nearly as much behind the scenes work into it to keep it going. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited about the potential. So then I was saying I'm hosting a design circle, a design challenge. Today is the last day. It's been a 3-day challenge, and I've had 2 calls per day, Zoom calls to accommodate different time zones, which has been a lot of fun. And we work through the design prompts, and I share some stuff about just what I have to share about designing and inspiration and marketing and things like that. Obviously in 3 days you can't share everything, but it's been a lot of fun to connect with some new people, and then to exchange design ideas. So I have a design prompt that I've shared each day, and while on the call we work through the design prompts so that we create some design ideas. And I always just love sharing the ideas and seeing the different ways everybody's mind works, the different directions they go in. Even sometimes when we have similar conceptual ideas for the prompt, the designs are still totally different. So like, I can't even, what's some of the prompts I've been sharing? I remember today's, but I don't want to give it away because we still have another call tonight. Anyway, for example, like yesterday was, what is your favorite place to think of, your favorite place to relax, or something like that. And so a lot of us either were thinking of like the couch or the beach, things like that. So our answer was similar, but then of course the designs we created from that were different. So that's been a lot of fun, but it has been a lot of work. And more calls, lots of calls. Yesterday inside the design circle, I hosted Sarah Krentz of Swinky Emu Knits. She has this method of designing patterns that's called sizing with spreadsheets, and it's really neat. I love the idea. But basically it's especially for like garments where a lot of people don't get a good fit with their garments. Her method of sizing with spreadsheets allows people to put in their dimensions, their measurements, and like what they actually want for a fit. And they get a customized design. So the pattern instructions are completely customized. So they have a custom fit project basically, which is really, really neat. So it was really fun to talk to her from like the designing perspective of how it all is put together and just logistics and things like that. So that was a very, very fun call. And then today and tomorrow we've had workshops on content ideas and content planning just inside the design circle. And those are a lot of fun because with the guest speakers, I bring somebody in and it's kind of more like a lecture lesson kind of style. Like I host it as a kind of like an interview style where we're chatting. But the workshops, we really are just bouncing ideas off of each other and sharing our tips and asking questions. It's a lot more interactive. So those have been a lot of fun. But they always end up going the first one was last month and it was an hour and a half long, and today's was 2 hours. So they're really fun. It's really fun to engage with each other, but they get long. And when I have how many calls did I have today? I had 3 this morning and 2 this afternoon. I was expecting to be on Zoom calls for about 8 hours today, so that's kind of been the week I've had. So it feels like I haven't been getting a whole lot done, but also at the same time it's been really fun. I've been getting a lot of calls done, and so then the reason I said grace for my week was I've been giving myself grace around things I have not been getting done. Like for example, these shawls that I was talking about, my Mood Shawls, I have another shawl that I had started here that is in fingering weight, and it's another version entirely. So, oops, my needle's caught. It's got a lot more drop stitches to start with, and then I'm in the lace. And ideally, I would have this done for the launch day and event that I'm going to next Saturday, but I don't know how likely that is because I also I'm opening doors to the design circle today to the waitlist, and then next week for publicly, and I still haven't created all my content. And then I also was going to design a cowl version of these, so that you could choose your stitches and kind of create your own cowl with these yarns, which I think are just so pretty. Also by this dyer, hand dyed Diva, but I don't think I can have both a cowl sample and a knit shawl sample done for next week. So I'm gonna have to figure out what my priorities are if I'm even gonna be able to finish one of them. But then of course, pattern release, been working on all of that. And the giveaway, was hosting a giveaway, and I still haven't drawn the winner for that, but that was a lot of fun. And then tomorrow is my spouse's birthday. I kind of felt bad. I have a work call scheduled on his birthday, but he might still be asleep, so it might be okay. Susan, yes, she said, "I'm glad to hear it's topics that are important and interesting to you, but 8 hours of call in a day sounds like a lot." Yes, that's why it's been an exhausting week, but it's been fulfilling. I'm glad that next week I'm kind of backing back down to a more normal schedule for me. And actually next month I'm going to be on vacation for a couple weeks, so I'll have 2 full weeks without any Zoom calls. But yes, it's been a lot. It's been really good. It's been fun, but by the end of the day, I was like even thinking of this call. I don't know if I'm gonna actually have a voice anymore. But yes, it's been helpful, of course, that it is topics that I enjoy, but of course also all of the calls. Yeah, I think all of the calls I've had this week I've been hosting. So it's also I'm doing a lot of the talking. I'm the center of attention, so that's more draining as well. But yeah, if that's what's been happening here, what else has been happening for you guys? What's your weather been like? Here we've had some very moody, gloomy mornings. And this morning there was a lot of fog, but our afternoons have been sunny, and our weather's been in like the 60s and stuff Fahrenheit, so it's been nice weather. But and then as far as personal life, obviously I've had a lot going on, so there hasn't been much going on outside of calls and some social media stuff. I guess I also, so I have been thinking about starting another Instagram account for the design circle, or specifically for designers. I had taken the hashtag pattern design circle maybe like a month ago, and I had decided, okay, I'm gonna actually do this, and I decided to go ahead and repost some of my posts from Snickerdoodle Knits that were specifically for designers onto my pattern design circle Instagram, and I was just gonna keep it on the down low for a couple weeks because I have a lot going on, and I didn't think of the fact that when it reposted, it would tag people that had already posted in the original post. So then people started seeing it right away. So I decided, all right, it's a thing. Now I have 2 Instagram accounts. Actually, I have more than that. I have my personal Instagram account. I have Snickerdoodle Knits. I have the Pattern Design Circle. And I have the Fiber Friends group from when I started at the very beginning of the pandemic. I had started a group specifically for bringing the community together. That's where I host the pen pal swap every quarter and things like that. But I hardly ever use that Instagram account anymore. Kim said, so cold in Colorado. Oh yeah. So what day was that? I got a text from Mom, and they're in Montana, and they're with the wind chill, their temperature was negative 39, and here our temperature was 61. So it was exactly 100-degree difference for wind chill temperatures, which is just kind of crazy to think about. I don't mind not being in the cold. Susan said, we've had wild swings in temperature. Wednesday was in the 60s, and today we have a foot of snow. I have heard that of a couple places. Where are you located, Susan? I feel like it was somewhere like Texas or somewhere. Somebody was talking about, they'd had really warm weather, and then they were down in like the 20s. I think it was Texas. I know who it was in a different group or in a Discord group. But it's always Boston area. Okay. So I guess you are kind of far from me, but I was going to say you're not that far from me. You're not as far as the other side of the country, but I enjoy Boston. Do you like Boston? I've been there. I mean, technically I've been there twice, but I was there for a conference in college once, and we saw a bit of the city, and I really enjoyed it. I was really surprised. Prior to that, I had studied abroad in Moscow, Russia, so it was a large city, 14 million people, but I wasn't expecting to enjoy Boston as much as I did. I really loved it. I want to spend more time there. But the second time we were there, we just flew in and drove up to Maine, so we weren't really in Boston. But yes, wild temperatures. It's definitely, it's getting closer to spring now, right? And so things are just, you never know what to expect. Are you going to Montana on your vacation? Yep, I am. So I'm going to be flying into Montana. But then we are doing a family road trip, where we're going to go to Grand Canyon and Bryce and Zion and all of those places. So it'll be a lot of fun. My spouse won't be with me, but it'll be the rest of the family. So I'm really looking forward to it. You do like Boston. You moved here summer 2020. Before that, I was in New York City for grad school. Okay, neat. Yeah. That would have been an interesting time to move, I'm sure, because everything would be very different during the pandemic. But are things getting closer back to normal there in Boston? And of course, if you were in New York City, Boston isn't. Doesn't feel so intimidating. I grew up in Montana. So yeah, Kim, it'll be really nice. Definitely looking forward to it. And actually, it's over my birthday. So I'm going to be with my family for my birthday, which hasn't happened in maybe since before I was in college. I can't remember. I might have had a spring break that I had at home, but my birthday is the first day of spring, but it seems like in Montana there's always snow on my birthday. So do you have a lot of snow in Colorado? I think I heard that there was, or is it just cold? It's perfect knitting weather. But Kim, do you knit, or do you just enjoy hanging out? Trying to think. I don't know what else I have to chat about. Did you see so much snow and very cold? Well, at least the snow makes it pretty. It doesn't make it so easy for driving. But yeah, just about everything is open in Boston. Officially, we still have an indoor mask mandate. I think that's getting lifted in early or mid-March. I see. Hopefully everything still is going well safety-wise, but it feels nice when it feels more normal. It's hard, obviously we've been in this for 2 years now, so makes it interesting. But I think I was starting to say, I don't know if you saw my post the other day, just thinking of fun things that happened this week. I think it was 2 days ago, I had posted and just asked if you were stranded on a desert island and you had access to an unlimited kind of yarn, what would you choose? And so that's been a lot of fun to see people's responses. So what are your favorite kinds of yarns? It's been nice to have a lot of open park spaces compared to New York City. Lots of walks and picnics these last 2 years. Yes, for sure. That makes it really nice. You used to knit and would love to start. I've been looking because I want to do a couple things. Oh, okay, that's neat. I didn't realize you had knit before. Yeah. What kind of projects did you knit before? Or what kind of projects are you wanting to start knitting? Hi, Catherine. Welcome. We're just hanging out and doing our knit chit chat. So my two prompts for you for discussion was, what are you working on? What have you been knitting? And how would you describe your week in 3 words? What was the most common answer to the yarn? I don't think there was a most common answer, because some folks, like somebody said Malabrigo, which is the yarn brand that I'm using right now. Somebody had tagged a few different yarn dyers and said that it's like yellow or gold, some color that they really love. Somebody had mentioned mohair. It's all soft and fuzzy, and then they could use, it could still be lightweight. I don't remember what all the answers were, but it was fun. Mine was, I basically said like yarn like this, so it's like a gray base but with lots of teal in it, and then it would have like these speckles of the purple and the black and stuff. And I didn't pick a brand, but I said DK weight, 100% superwash. And then I had also asked about needles, and I said I would take my interchangeable needles. Excuse me. I didn't get a nap today. Since I had not been getting much sleep at night because I was staying up really late, and getting up early, I have taken a nap the last 2 days between calls because I've just been exhausted. Do you guys have if there hasn't been anything exciting happening this week, do you have any plans for the weekend? I should have plans, but, since it's Eric's birthday, basically all I know is that I'm supposed to go get cinnamon rolls, and I have a call tomorrow. I'm sure I'll be doing a fair bit of work because I haven't done any of my emails. Excuse me. Now that I've started yawning, I'm gonna keep yawning. Since I haven't done any of my emails or anything, I have some work to do for the Design Circle launch. Have a great weekend. I was just on break here at work, so I need to go back. Okay, thanks for joining. Have a good rest of your day at work, and have a great weekend as well. It was fun to chat with you. So I guess, Susan, it's just us left. Do you have any knitting patterns that you've been eyeing, that you're excited to knit? Or how close to being done? I think you said you're almost done with the MCAL, but not quite. I should go back and see. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry. Yes, you said you're almost done. That last bit is long too, because it's a full skein. You have to jump off as well. This was fun. All right, thanks so much. Get some rest. Yes, I definitely will be. I'll maybe get enough sleep tonight. We'll see. Tomorrow's call's at 10 o'clock in the morning. And hope you have a good weekend as well. I'll talk to you later. And really, for folks watching the replay, I don't know if I have a whole nother half hour of content to talk about. Unless other folks come on and start chatting. But I'm going to see here where I am in my pattern so that I can keep knitting. This cardigan pattern that I'm working on, I always have to check at the beginning of the row just what I'm doing. But once I get into it, then I have a pretty smooth sailing. But let's see. I think the only other thing I had to share, I was just, thinking about some word of encouragement or something to share. And what I had thought of was just to spread kindness, to be kind, to be authentic, to be genuine. There's a lot of unkind things, a lot of hate and unrest and things happening in the world. And so the more kindness we can spread, the more compassion we can spread, I think better. It benefits everybody. It makes us feel better when we're kind. It makes other people feel better. And really, this life is short. We don't have enough time to spend being angry and hurtful and hateful. All of those things. And of course, as always, I guess I'm going to go ahead and sign off. If you're watching the replay, please go ahead and share what you're working on, share something that you've been enjoying this week. I really do love to hear from you. Something I really love about having this business is connecting with other people. Yeah, I love the connecting and collaborating aspect for sure. So, of course, leave comments. I love to hear from you. I know that it's not possible for everybody to join live. And I know I had mentioned this last week, but if there's time that would work better, let me know. I can adjust it, of course. Right now I'm meeting at 4 o'clock every Friday. But I can change that. So what was I going to say? Oh, so Design Circle doors are opening. We have somebody else hopping on. Early Girls Yarn. Welcome. We're just knitting and chitting and chatting. Folks had to leave, so I was getting close to signing off here. But if you or you know somebody who is interested in the Design Circle, it's a community for knit and crochet pattern designers. It's a community aspect as well as a resource aspect. So there's community where you can ask questions anytime, you can connect with fellow designers. I mentioned earlier, we have workshops, we have guest speakers, we talk about anything business and designing related, really. It's a lot of fun. Actually, on the call this morning for the design challenge, some of the Design Circle members were on there and they started talking about things they love. So, of course, that always feels so good to know other people are loving it as much as I'm loving it. But it really has been quite an amazing community, even just as a participant, and the support there I've really loved. So anyway, if you or anybody else that you know, designers that you know, are interested in the Design Circle, the doors will be opening on Monday, but you can join the waitlist using the link in my bio. So if you click the link in my bio, there is a button there to the Design Circle page. Excuse me. And then on that page, you can join the waitlist from there. So this weekend, if you join before I send out the first email, which I might get out in the next hour and a half, we will see, because then I have 2 more calls tonight. But if you get on before then, you can hop in on the discount. It's $30 off before the public launch starting Monday. And so that's another exciting thing that happened this week. I purchased a program that will allow me to offer payment plans. So now folks so they don't have to pay the full sum for the annual fee at once. You now have an option to pay it over 3 months. So it's a 3-month payment plan, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, I think that's the only thing. Well, I guess I have this release coming up. The In a Mood Shawl will be coming on Saturday. Keep your eyes open for that. And the Mystery Knit Along, Susan had mentioned that she was in the Mystery Knit Along. That is the Ella Fitzgerald inspired Mystery Knit Along hosted by To Be Tree Yarns. That pattern I'll be sharing photos and it will be available for purchase soon because the knit along ends at the end of the month. But As always, remember you are on your own journey, so make sure you enjoy it, and sending so many yarny hugs to you. Appreciate all of your support here on Snickerdoodle Knits and now on the Pattern Design Circle Instagram page. As I said, I love connecting with you. I love hearing from you. So all of your messages, all of your comments, every kind word, it really does. It means a lot. So thanks for being here. Thanks for spreading kindness, and continue to spread that kindness throughout the world. And hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you later.